G'day guys, I just made you a video that got cut short early, so I just had the car to rinse it for the first time since I did the spray, the fine crystal spray, but the video got cut short early for some reason, so now the car's all wet and I'll just do it again. So it had a bit of dirt that was stuck to it. Oh, now I've got water all over the lens. Oh man. There we go. Okay. So I was reading, I was hearing in my sleep the other night on YouTube when I was asleep, someone saying that watermarks are really bad on ceramic. So I'm going to leave the car like this and come back in half an hour, whatever, and drive it. Now, how long does it last? People are asking. I'd say longer than Caranuba and not forever, so 6 months. I'm not sure. There's certainly something on the car. I mean, it's applied when the car was wet, so how long it's going to last, I don't think it would really last that long, but considering I used 1/3 of the bottle for $39 a bottle, you'd get a year out of that bottle. From the look of it, I don't know. It depends if you live near the salt and all that. Yeah, so swirl marks, drying the car, chamois are out of fashion. I've got a lot to learn. So it's like, oh, there's all these little scratches on the car. Yeah, I've been putting them in there. So I've got to learn how to wash a car properly, even though I prided myself on detailing cars. But yeah, I've seen it for myself. I've seen fine scratches show up from drying and washing and contamination, obviously, as clean as I kept it. Like, yeah, so what I'll do, I'll dry off a little bit of the car just to tell you what I've learnt. So this sort of microfiber, which sort of sticks to the cuts on your hands and is quite high in polyester, I think, is a bit too strong. You need something a bit softer, okay? And when you dry a car, you need to be basically having a layer between you and the car. So I'm not going to go rubbing or anything, but you can see, I'll go to the front. I mean, I'm sure the layer would of the crystal would come off a bit when you dry the car, but I haven't washed it. I can't see what's stuck to it. Certainly there'll be dirt on the lower part of the body still. now, yes, there is. Very little though, but it's hard to see it. That's the problem. It's actually hard to see. You think the car's clean, so I'm not going to dry it without, washing it properly. It feels really clean. So I've witnessed what happens now. Like, basically the car looks like it attracts dust. So it stays clean, but with all the pollen around and change of season and that, today the car was covered in dust as if it electrostatically stuck to the car, and then it goes away when you drive. So what it is, it's floating on the second skin. So the dirt, you see the dirt on the car and then you can just blow it off the car. So what happens with these coatings, I think, is that basically the dirt gets washed away by the water. But somewhere last night or the night before in my sleep with YouTube playing, I heard one of the professional car washing guys talking about scratches and watermarks, and I'm sure they said that watermarks on ceramic is really bad. So if you think ceramic's going to repel everything and protect your car from being scratched and destroyed, it's not. It is going to help protect the car, but it's not a miracle product that is going to avoid watermarks. So this watermark business is quite bad. It's always been an issue. So yeah, I'm going to shut the video off now. I've got to go upstairs and I'll come back. I'm not going to leave the car wet and ruin it, but I will leave parts of it wet because we got to learn, don't we? We're going to see what these watermarks are going to be, how much they're going to stick to the car. Yeah. So you can see that the coating is certainly working. How long it lasts, I'm not sure. I didn't ask. I can ask the bloke. It would depend on the application. I'd say anywhere between 3 months and a year, depending on, It seems to be in the paint. I mean, it's quite well embedded in the paint. There was nothing smooth about this paint when I got the car. It didn't look smooth. It didn't feel smooth. It was not ready to be waxed. It had some layer of polish on it, but yeah, the car didn't have any sort of Caranuba, and in that playlist the other night, in my sleep, I'm sure I learnt that Caranuba still offers a superior shine to most products. I think the Americans say pop. You want the pop in it. You get, So I always used to use Mothers and Caranuba waxes, and when I heard ceramic glass coating, I'm like, yeah, science and polymers and technology, and I really didn't realise, there must be quite a bit of science going on for the stuff to stick to the car when the car's wet. So that fine crystal spray is applied when the car's like this, and it's rubbed in with the applicator sponge, and it's rubbed in with the applicator sponge, and put through. But the swirl marks you can see in the sun. So I'm beginning to get these fine scratches, which is accentuated by this crystal coating. So anything on the car will be locked in there for however long your contract is with the crystal people, 1, 3, 5 years, whatever it may be. That's the reason I put the spray on it. The car, it looks great, but there is scratches in it, and I wanted to polish it properly, do it all properly, because they say obviously it has to be, done properly. Now in the States, I've noticed that with certain things, they wipe things down with alcohol and all that. I'm not going to wipe my car down with alcohol, but yeah, I don't think that ceramic coating is going to work well with anything on the paint. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. You can see the car's clean. It's funny, I didn't really use any soap. Isn't that funny? That's not recommended. But this car's going to be all buffed and done properly anyway, so I'll give it a quick wipe and we'll come back later.